Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a beginner Pilates series. I hope to make a whole set of videos on this because I know it can be a little bit frustrating, especially because Pilates is so specific and it moves very slowly. So if you're not understanding some terms or something, you can get really frustrated. So I want to break it down for you today. You're still going to get a burn. Hopefully you still feel a little bit sore tomorrow. But yeah, let's get right on into it. So we're going to start laying all the way on down. You can hug the knees into the chest here and just gently rock side to side. And then extend the left leg out, hug the right knee into the chest. And I just want you to start to notice how your body feels today. Pilates is a mind-body connection, so you really want to be paying attention to what you're moving, how you're breathing. And a lot of times we move through the day not realizing that. We're going to switch to the other side, so it can cause a big disconnect. So just notice if you feel tight. All right. I want you to plant both feet down onto the ground here. We're going to start with bridging. So hands can rest down by your sides. I want you to exhale. You're going to tuck that tailbone, press the low back into the mat, and then from here start to roll it up bone by bone into a bridge. We're going to take a pause at the top. Make sure that your ribs aren't lifting you up, right? So your rib cage is still pretty low. It's your hips you're trying to lift high. And then bone by bone, so start at the upper back, you're going to start to roll it down. So you feel the center of your back start to lower until you get to the low back. And then you release, let your butt hang nice and heavy on the floor. Okay, once again, you exhale, tuck the tailbone. So that would be like if you had a ball on your pelvis, you're going to roll the ball towards your face. And we're going to start to roll it up from there. Pausing at the top and lowering it down. And just keep moving through this, getting used to this articulation through the spine. Now, a few other things to check in with. Your feet shouldn't be super far away from you here, right? But they're also not up against your glutes. So you want them in a good distance from your hips. Ankles are about right underneath the knees. All right, we're going to pause it at the top here. I want you to press into the floor as much as you can. So feel like your mat is trying to lift up off the ground and you have to drive it back into that floor. Heels are going to start to pull back. Knees are going to try to reach over those toes. So you should start to feel the back of the legs really turn on here. And then I want you to see if you can lift just a little bit higher, squeezing the butt cheeks together. It's just a hold. Knees are parallel, not knocking in. And we're going to lower it all the way on down. Like I said, backs of the legs are going to start to get warm here. We're going to roll back up into that bridge and you're going to hold it at the top, tucking that tailbone once again. Right hip is going to drop down towards the floor. Lift it back up, and then the left. And back on up. You really want to emphasize the squeezing of the glutes together at the top. I'm really grabbing my own butt here, but I recommend you do the same. And take it slow. I promise the slower you go, the more effective it's going to be here. Also going to be having us do quite a few of everything because I really want us to get used to the motions here and really be able to explore how it feels in our bodies. Last one, over to the left. Hold at the top and lower it all the way on down. Whew, my legs are burning. Okay, we're gonna have heels together, toes apart. So you have a little V with your feet. Knees are pressing out. Depends on your flexibility, right? We don't want them flopping open here, but try to see if you can at least separate it a little bit. We're gonna roll it back up into that same bridge, bone by bone, and lower it down. So here we're working our external rotation. You're trying to wrap the legs away from one another. Inner thighs are trying to wrap towards the ceiling. Still pressing into that feet. Same feeling of heels pulling back, toes, knees pulling forward. All right, we're gonna hold it up at the top here. I want you to try to bring the knees together and apart. So you should feel inner thigh, outer glute. Still that low glute because we're tucking that tailbone. Don't let the butt drop at all. Talking is so hard today. Last 3. Stick with it. 2. And 1. Lower it all the way down. Just drop both knees over to the right side. How are we doing? Bet you're crushing it. And then over to the other side. And then back through center. Feet planted on the ground still here. We're going to go for those abs. So hands will come behind the head. We're going to break it down here, guys. So start with your arms as wide as they'll fall. And then lift the elbows just slightly. You want space between your low back and the mat. Not a crazy amount. You're not the Holland Tunnel, right? We want to drop the rib cage into the floor. And then just leave enough for like a blueberry to sit underneath your back without getting attacked. From here, it's an exhale to curl up just to the tips of the shoulder blades and lower down. We're going to exhale, curl up and lower. A lot of the times we want to lift from the head, and then we say that doing crunches hurts our neck. It's because that is going to hurt your neck, right? You want to lift the shoulders. You want to press the rib cage down to lift up. And exhale, curl. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl. Take a moment to pause at the top. Again, check in. Is your head jetting forward? Are you really lifting those shoulders? And lower. Your chin isn't crushing your chest here. It's slightly lifted towards the ceiling. Again, to keep that neck relaxed. Okay, we're going to hold it at the top. Bear with me here. I want you to glance down at your pelvis. So your pelvis should be flat. I want you to tuck the tailbone, squish the blueberry underneath your low back. Hold it there. Now see what that feels like, right? That's a tucked tailbone. Okay, you're going to try to release it back to where it just was. So find that little bit of space, nice and flat once again. Hold it here. Let the hips be as heavy as possible. Using my arms so much, I hope it's not distracting you. and lower it all the way on down. All right, again, we're gonna curl it on up. Hold it at the top this time. Again, check in, low back, rib cage. Bring the right leg into tabletop. Lower it down, and then other side. Guys, I am shaking. This is why I always really love coming back to beginner classes, no matter what level you're at, because it really helps you refine the motions. And then there's no way you can cheat yourself out of feeling sore the next day. It doesn't happen. We're only lifting the leg without changing the shape of the pelvis. So if your hip bones were a table, they're staying flat. And lower it down. Whew. Breathe for a second here. Check in with how you're feeling. I want you to extend that left leg out long. Right leg is going to come up towards the ceiling or right into tabletop. You can leave that leg down if that ends up feeling better for you here. We're going to curl up and over and down. So now you're really picking that left shoulder blade off of the ground. And I want you to be thinking armpit to the knee. Head is heavy in those hands. Feel like your rib cage is twisting over. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. It's a hold. Refine that motion. Nice. Big inhale, deep exhale, belly button to spine as much as you can. Lift a little higher. And lower it all the way down. Reach the arms back, wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. And then just like that, other side, friends. So left leg will lift, hands behind the head. Now you get the motion, you know this. You're going to curl up and over, right shoulder's going to lift, and lower it down. Your breath is everything here. So I want you to use that exhale to curl. Inhale to lower. That exhale is like if you pop a balloon and all the air shrivels out of it. Inhale, you're filling the balloon up as much as you can. Sorry, I'm turning away from you. It feels very rude. We're going to hold it on the next one. Shoulder blades wide, head heavy. Try to pick yourself up just a little bit more if you can. And lower it down. Same big stretch we did before. All right, arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to sit it all the way on up so you can either roll up or if that's too much, you sit up from the side, right? We're going to bring it into our all fours position here, however you want to get there. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, right? We're going to take some cat-cow, so you'll drop the belly down. It should feel really good after that ab work. And round the spine. You may have done cat-cows a billion times. This might be your first time doing it. No matter what, I want you to be present through the whole motion. See if you can let that belly relax even more. Really pull the breastbone forward. And then press into the hands, tuck that tailbone. Widen those shoulder blades. Last time here. And relax. We're going to go for our scap push-ups. So you're going to pinch the shoulder blades together. and then widen the shoulder blades out. This can be really tricky for the brain, so I want you to be patient with yourself here. It's like there's a pencil in between the shoulder blades that I want you to squeeze, and then I want you to try to pop it up towards the ceiling. I'll show you from behind just in case that's easier. So you would pull the shoulder blades together and widen them apart. Not from the bending of the arms, right? Just from the shoulders. And if today isn't the day that you get it, that's fine. You're one step closer. You're moving your body, and I'm proud of you. All right, we're gonna hold those shoulder blades wide. Check in that the ribs aren't dumping towards the floor. I want you to press the ribs in and up. Just the right arm here is gonna come forward, and we're gonna lower it down. Now, left arm will come. If you need to, it's too much on the wrist, you can come to your fists as well, or you could try to do this from your forearms. Exhale as the arm reaches forward. Inhale as it lowers down. One more left. All right, pause. We're going to switch it up to the legs. So nothing is going to change through that torso. Shoulder blades are wide, ribs pulling in. Extend the right leg out. I want you to reach as much as you can and lower it down super slow. Extend the other leg and lower. Check that your back of the neck is long. Last one. And set it on back. Shake the wrists out for a second. All right, I want us to keep working the shoulders here, perfecting that all fours position. So when you're in that position, without actually moving your hands, I want you to feel like you're trying to open jar lids. So you'd be opening the jar lids away from one another. So plant the hands down. Again, without actually moving the hands, I want you to try to wrap the elbows back by moving those jar lids. All right? Hold that. Extend the right leg back once again. Lower the leg down and up. And we're not twerking it here, so it's not coming from the whole body. I want you to just lift from the leg. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Child's pose. Get off those wrists for a moment. Breathe. I want you to bring it back forward. Elbows are wrapping back. Left leg is long. Lower and lift. As slow as you can go. Can you draw the abs in a little bit more? Last 3. And 1. Bring it all the way down. Once again, child's pose. Right. No fancy transition. We're just going to come up to stand here. All right, we're gonna break down the squat. How fun, right? I'll show you from the side to start. Feet are a little bit wider than the hips. You're gonna send it back, so I like the arms to come forward. And then you're gonna stand it up, palms are gonna press back. When we squat, it's tempting to just bring the knees forward. It's coming from your hips pulling back. So you sit the hips back as much as you can. Knees are not going over the toes. And then you press into the feet, stand it on it. You want to brace that core, so maybe exhale as you come down. Inhale as you stand up. It is not about how low you go here, so I don't want you to force yourself into a position that does not feel good. Find where you can work safely while still challenging yourself. And how do we figure that out? We listen to our body. We move nice and slow. We feel what muscles we're using. You're going to hold at the bottom for me here. Press into the heels as much as you can. And then just like we did the jar lids with the hands, I want you to do it with your feet. So you're trying to split the mat. It's going to help protect the knees. Send the hips a little further back if you can. Press into the feet, press, press, press. And stand it all the way on up. Give yourself a forward fold. Maybe rock the hips side to side. All right, roll it on up. Once again, same thing here. I'm gonna have you come into that beautiful squat we were just at, splitting that mat, lift it up almost all the way, and then lower it back down. We lift almost all the way and down. Keeping the tension in the legs, wrapping through that core. You're doing so good, I know it. Try to keep the chest slightly lifted here. Embrace the shake. Three more. Last one, you're gonna hold it down there. Whew, my legs are burning too. Little pulses, 10. Last 3. And stand it all the way up. Forward fold. You can come to sit all the way on down. Just a little bit of flexibility here. One of my favorite stretches, I do it all the time. Bottom of the feet together, forward fold. Maybe play with walking the hands over to one side. And then over to the other side. And all the way back up. Crisscross applesauce, if that feels better. Just give me a few head rolls to one side. And to the other. Beautiful work, guys. You did so good. If you're just starting your Pilates journey, I just want to say stick with it. It's worth it. And it comes in time, right? Like, We don't go out to play a game of golf and expect to hit all holes in ones and beat the next Tiger Woods. Same thing with our exercising, right? Like, comes from that consistency, patience with yourself, and I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, if you have any requests, please leave it down below, DM me, whatever you would like. And until next time, bye guys.